It's no secret that the Rec Room community is kinda in utter dismay right now. Over the past couple years, it would be fair to argue that Rec Room's made some interesting decisions. Through these decisions, the community has felt very neglected. These feelings of neglect have built up over time and has finally come to a boiling point. This boiling point, which we all know, was Rec Room removing weekly challenges. Now, let me slide in here real quick. This video was already in production when the latest AMA 34, came out. I honestly was planning on canceling this video altogether, but upon watching the entire thing, they kinda just do what they always do. They answered a lot of pressing questions, but their broad answer for why something was done or something wasn't going to change was, it doesn't fit in our laser-focused view for the future of Rec Room, which is a radically cross-platform UGC app. Which would be an okay answer if they told us what actually does fit into this laser-focused future. So, this video is still coming out. It came out already. If you're watching this, enjoy. But players are officially fed up. Many of their older player base could no longer take the neglect and are finally speaking their minds. So I, like many other RecTubers at this point, want to give my 2 cents on all this. But before we begin, I want to preface this with a few things. First of all, I really don't want this to come off as a fest. As much as we all love to complain about this game sometimes, I think it's important to not just point out issues, but offer solutions to them. So I plan to do that in this video. Second, I really love this game, man. I've had countless great experiences and have made some truly amazing friends who I have stuck with for years. And for that, I am forever grateful to Rec Room. It is because I care so deeply for this game that I need to speak my mind. I mean, think about it. Do you really love something if you have zero qualms about it? We are giving Rec Room this criticism because we care. We want Rec Room to be able to get through this rough patch and emerge triumphantly better than before. So again, that is why I am speaking up. Let's begin. By far, one of the most obvious and honestly fair complaints has been item prices. They have absolutely shot up in recent times, and they're getting kind of outrageous. I mean, just look at the Shredder set. To buy this entire set, it costs 59,040 tokens. And if you bought tokens for this set, you would have to spend 90 real dollars to pay for this whole thing. And that is undoubtedly a problem, so let's unpack that. 59,000 tokens is no joke, and is pretty much impossible to reach without spending real-life money. Other than spending money, in modern Rec Room, there are only 2 other ways to gain tokens in-game. First, you can try to play enough Rec Room Originals to raise tokens, but with modern prices, this option is mostly futile, especially with the 3 option boxes that don't even guarantee tokens. Or, you can sell inventions and custom shirts, which is a much better option. You can also try to bank on room rewards, but you have to pay an extra $8 a month for Rec Room Plus to do that in the first place. And you need the talent of being able to draw and or build. Additionally, most players trying to make tokens through selling things are trying to get enough tokens to cash out and turn those tokens into real money, which boy oh boy we will get back to. So if you think about it this way, only the wealthy, successful builders can afford items. Unless you play Rec Room every hour of every day, there is no way to gain enough tokens to afford the Shredder set with the first method, which is the method the majority of Rec Room players are stuck with. So, all they can do is buy tokens. Now let me be clear, this is not quite a bad thing, as Rec Room is a free game and they have to make their money somehow, but the extent to where this has gone has become borderline unacceptable. Although the money the players put into the game help the game grow, when prices exceed such an insane mark, it comes off as Rec Room only caring about money and not the community. And many players feel that way, which as I said is such a juxtaposition to how they previously were, which is why all of this feels so polarizing. Now, if there's one thing I agree with that Gribbly said in that AMA, is that Rec Room doesn't make a whole lot of money. It is a decently large game, and just like Roblox and Fortnite and all them, need that constant income. So I understand if only caring about money is how they're gonna stay afloat, but there are ways to show your care for the community, while also making as much bank as you can, if you catch my drift. So to combat these insane prices, I have a few solutions. 1. Just lower prices. Unfortunately, this is super unlikely. They've made more money by upping prices, and they won't just go down. But if they do lower prices, things will be more affordable and actually able to obtain by just playing the game. This applies to the next thing they should do. Number 2. Add more ways to gain tokens in-game without paying. Although this will ultimately lead to loss as well, it would be a whole lot less direct than the previous option. My ideas for the ways they could do this are increasing token amounts in boxes and updating daily challenge awards. Rather than just the box, I think daily challenges could totally reward tokens. Pretty much leave daily challenges the way they are, but replace each challenge with a token balance. Because these are daily, you could go away with making the token balance decently low, like from 10 to 50 each, but try to make sure players get at least 60 to 70 tokens each day by completing them. If they lowered prices and made a 10k token item more like 7k-ish, it becomes a lot more obtainable. And you know what? It would probably still be pretty hard to gain 7,000 tokens through the daily challenges alone. It would be easier than 10k, but still difficult. So maybe a player could get 3.5k tokens by just playing the game, and then they'd buy the other 3.5k. Rec Room would still be making money in some capacity, and it would be a lot more justifiable for a player to spend $10 on the game rather than 20. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Rec Room's current community engagement is truly a far cry from how it used to be. I mean, just look at old AMAs. They took the players' constructive criticism and actually adhered to it. But once they became more commercialized and Harry Manlegs was added to the AMAs, they became cherry-picked, specifically designed videos to answer common questions they answer every video, or possibly announce something. And by announce, I mean really slightly tease something. We just received our latest AMA, which was our first in a really long time, trying to address what I'm talking about today, but it was kind of the same shindig if you ask me. But back then, there wasn't only AMAs, there was so much more. There was How To Rec Room teaching players how to do certain things in game. There was Creator Spotlight giving creators a platform to show off their creations and gain notoriety. There was Rec Room Highlights showcasing funny player moments. There was rooms created by staff for RecTubers, Inventor Spotlight, all different kinds of contests, video, photo, builder, meme, and more. Invention Tower, Everything Inc., live AMAs with Gribbly, Rec Room Shorts, Featured Rooms videos, and of course weekly challenges, and so much more. When you list it all out like this, it really does seem like a lot, right? Now, I want you to guess how many of these community engagement activities they still do today. The answer is 1, and that's because they recently decided to do an art contest after a long hiatus recently. But that's it! All of those activities were a great way for the community to engage with Rec Room and get involved. It felt heard, acknowledged, and it felt like Rec Room really cared. And honestly, this is one of the things that really drew me to this game. And I know I can say the same for many others. It was really cool that Rec Room listened to their community, and it felt like you had a say. They actually answered community questions, they embraced their community, something so many games just don't do anymore. And getting involved with Rec Room official stuff was as easy as joining their Discord server. But as time went on, they slowly stopped getting involved with their community, and unfortunately, profit came before the community. And it's been like that for like a year and a half now. And people are fed the fuck up, man. Things are so much different than they were in 2020 and before. People no longer feel like they have a voice. They feel like their cries aren't being heard, and more than that, they feel ignored. Players have been asking for things for years that still haven't come to the game. And of course, Rec Room doesn't need to add every single thing their community asks for, but when there are legitimate requests that will improve or fix something that's been broken, you know, they really should. So, as we all know, Rec Room often releases an update that breaks something. This occurrence happens so often that the saying, add one thing, break another 5 is commonplace in the community. For example, a turning update in Rec Room broke Make It to Midnight a little bit back. As Bonky, when you turned in any direction, the game thought you swung the hammer and it would deflate. And when the hammer deflates, you cannot hit another player and you become slow for a few seconds. Since this would happen every single time you turned, you basically couldn't move. And this bug effectively made being Bonky and Make It to Midnight in VR impossible, making it unplayable for a huge amount of the player base. Even though the amount of VR players is slimming by the day, gosh, please help us. Understandably, people spoke their mind about this issue and asked for a fix. They just wanted to be able to keep playing the game. This bug appeared back in late 2023 and was not fixed for months. I can't find exactly when this was fixed, but it wasn't at least until March of 2024, which is a crazy amount of time. This is something luckily Rec Room listened to, with things like updates to old Rec Room originals, a new quest, and so much more have been asked for years. Those cries haven't been acknowledged, nonetheless heard. It's even more important for Rec Room to fix bugs quickly when it comes to building tools. With the ability to cash out tokens, people's incomes can be on the line. Although I don't think too many people have Rec Room as their sole income, and if you do, I wouldn't suggest that. Maybe Squirrelador does, but people still make money off of this, and it can be a source of income. And recently, Rec Room accidentally broke player tags, which might have sabotaged a lot of creator growth, and they probably missed out on a bit of profit too. We love this game, Rec Room, and hell, would I be making a video on it right now if I didn't? And it's slowly becoming clear that the people who are developing this game aren't really playing it. Further proved by Gribbly being upset about his in-game performance during the AMA, which he comments about didn't realize was so unoptimized. So it would make sense to listen to the people who are playing. I'm not saying you should appease the people who mindlessly ask for things that aren't even possible, like streamer cam on standalone headsets. Guys, that's not how it works. But your older players, who are a lot of teenagers becoming adults, who are now very competent, and who've been playing for years, know your game inside and out, and just want to help things and enjoy the game again like they did so many years ago. Like me, for example. I love making content in this game, but that too has become so goddamn difficult lately. This little shit, the streamer cam, destroys frames and literally can't be used in certain rooms. I crash while recording, having my script in game can also destroy my frames, and so much more. Sometimes it can kill motivation to make a video, as you've seen by the month gap between this video and the last, and it can all just be so frustrating. So, small side tangent, Rec Room, please do something about streamer cam frames. It's killing me, and so many other RecTubers agree. So, here are a few of my ideas on how to go about some of this. First, listen to your community. This one may feel like a duh, but please. 2. Don't just ask for community feedback. Take it into consideration. Unfortunately, the surveys aren't really cutting it anymore. 3. Get player playtesters. Give a select group of trusted longtime players early access to features. Or not even early, just have them play the game and give accurate and good feedback. 4. Instate player representatives. I understand if you don't want every player to have a say and be able to give feedback, especially as so many players are children nowadays. So I think player representatives could really work. Have these representatives take legitimate player concerns and take them to Rec Room. I know VMods and video partners kinda serve as these, but take it a step further. All of these issues come down to one thing: community neglect. Players want to be able to afford cool items in a game they play, so they request lower prices. Their request unfortunately goes ignored. Players want a better, less buggy experience, and wants all the amazing community interaction the game used to have returned. Their yearning isn't really acknowledged. Rec Room's neglect for its community has, as I said countless times in this video, come to a boiling point. The time is now. It is time for some change. So please, speak your mind. Express what you love about Rec Room, express what you hate about Rec Room, as long as it's constructive. Make a video of your own, make a Reddit post, go to their Discord, and more. It's time for our voices to be heard once more for a better Rec Room in the future. 2, 1. Before I end this, I just want to emphasize and repeat how much I love this game. I wouldn't write a 6-page script and make this whole video about how we can help the game if I didn't. I want both old and new players to be able to log into an amazing experience filled with community interaction, actively updated and fun games, and an amazing community ready to welcome them with open arms. So Rec Room, if you're watching this, I love you. I really do. I hope this came off as constructive and not overly negative. Thank you and have a great day.